from the halls of Geneva to the rubble of Gaza City, from Ramallah's cautious hope to Israel's uncompromising stance. The conflict has entered a new and perilous phase. The courtroom, the battlefield, and the diplomatic stage are colliding, and the stakes could not be higher. The UN-appointed Commission of Inquiry this month released its most severe assessment to date, saying Israel is seeking to cement permanent control over Gaza and secure a Jewish majority in the occupied West Bank. The panel pointed to expanded buffer zones, military corridors and security belts that by July 2025 placed nearly three-quarters of Gaza under Israeli control. These measures, it said, combined with widespread demolitions, had altered the Strip in ways designed to make large-scale Palestinian return impossible.
Israeli forces have also intentionally altered the geography of Gaza through the creation of military corridors, expanding the border buffer zone and establishing security zones.
The Commission did not stop at geography. Its report alleged that Israeli authorities had destroyed civilian infrastructure, carried out mass displacement, and obstructed aid in ways calculated to destroy Palestinians in part, language that falls squarely within the Genocide Convention. Investigators said 4 of the 5 acts constituting genocide were evident, and they named senior officials, from the Prime Minister to defence chiefs, as directly responsible for policies of forced transfer, settlement expansion, and moves tantamount to annexation. Israel dismissed the findings as fundamentally distorted. Its representatives in Geneva argued that the Commission ignored Hamas's conduct and consistently sought to vilify Israel on the international stage.
Hamas has genocidal intent towards Israel. The report has everything backwards. This commission does not miss an opportunity to reveal its true character and politically driven agenda.
Navi Pillay, the head of the commission, said in a statement that Israeli actions had deepened the misery of the Palestinian people.
Israeli actions had deepened the misery of the Palestinian people and deprived them of resources indispensable for their survival, including the capacity to produce food.
With each side accusing the other of reversing cause and effect, the dispute is as much about narrative as about facts on the ground. As diplomats sparred in Geneva, Israel's military marked a milestone. The IDF announced it had fully encircled Gaza City, the most densely populated hub in the Strip and a key seat of Hamas control. Divisions were reported holding Sheikh Radwan, the coastline, Sabra, and Tel al-Hawa. The encirclement came after months of grinding operations that pushed more than 600,000 civilians from the city's heart. Military officials described Hamas as avoiding decisive battles and conserving resources, though skirmishes continue. One clash claimed the life of a company commander from the 77th Armoured Battalion, a reminder that the siege still exacts costs even as Hamas retreats into tunnels and narrow streets. Israeli intelligence suggests the group has lost its bearings in the face of simultaneous multi-front maneuvers.
Hamas is currently in a state of confusion. It doesn't know where the IDF is striking from and has no clear sense of the scale of forces we're using against them.
While commanders highlight Hamas's disarray, they also acknowledge the immense strain of sustaining multiple campaigns. Northern defences remain tense, with rocket alerts continuing, while the West Bank is on edge. The man charged with overseeing Central Command voiced cautious hope amid the pressure.
The many challenges before us, the fighting in Gaza City, defense in the north, and the constant battle against terrorism in Judea and Samaria, all these are not reasons for optimism, but I am full of hope.
Bluth's remarks underline how Israel's military posture is being stretched across fronts even as it advances in Gaza. Parallel to events on the battlefield, diplomatic shifts unfolded in New York. Canada, the United Kingdom and Australia each formally recognized a Palestinian state in the days surrounding the UN General Assembly. It marked the first time major Western powers moved in unison on recognition, with leaders framing the step as a bid to revive the two-state horizon. In Ramallah, the decision was welcomed as overdue, but was tempered by skepticism. Residents and officials said recognition would mean little unless tied to enforcement, economic relief, and a halt to settlement growth. Symbolism, they warned, could not rebuild homes or reopen checkpoints. Israel reacted sharply. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu rejected the idea outright, insisting recognition rewarded terror rather than peace.
A Palestinian state will not be established west of the Jordan River. For years, I have prevented the establishment of this terrorist state despite tremendous pressure, both domestically and internationally. We did this with determination, and we did it with diplomatic wisdom. Moreover, we doubled Jewish settlement in Judea and Samaria, and we will continue on this path. The response to the latest attempt to impose a terrorist state in the heart of our land will be given after my return from the United States. Wait for it.
The blunt dismissal was echoed by far-right ministers who argued that annexation, not withdrawal, should be the state's guiding policy. Israeli Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich rejected the prospect of Palestinian statehood, urging full sovereignty over the West Bank.
Time has come to apply Israeli sovereignty to Judea and Samaria, to once and for all remove from the agenda the idea of dividing our tiny land and establishing a terror state in its center. We have no desire to apply our sovereignty on population that wants to destroy us. Enemies should be fought against, not allowed a comfortable life. That is why the chief principle for applying sovereignty. Get it well into your heads, this is the slogan. Maximum territory, minimum population.
Beyond diplomacy, the humanitarian picture is bleak. UN estimates suggest more than 90% of Gaza's housing and schools have been damaged or destroyed. Cropland has been devastated, and reconstruction could take over a decade at a cost running into tens of billions of dollars. Palestinian health authorities report more than 65,000 deaths since October 2023. Figures considered credible by UN agencies, but disputed by Israel. The West Bank too is being transformed. Expanded checkpoints, raids in Jenin and Tulkarem, and settlement projects around Jerusalem are fragmenting territory and eroding the possibility of a contiguous Palestinian state. The E1 plan east of the capital has drawn particular concern from diplomats who say it would split the West Bank in two. The conflict is thus entering a new phase, one where the courtroom, the battlefield, and the diplomatic stage are inseparably bound. The next moves, whether more recognition, deeper annexation, or an escalation of fighting in Gaza City, will determine whether this moment becomes a turning point or just another chapter in a war without end.